Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad and Friends Beer Reviews, starring Henry and Ernie.
Hey.
And me. And another Magic Hat beer. This is their Odd Notion for Spring 2010. I'm not sure the name of it. I just saw on their website, it said it's like a cross between an American Pale Ale and an American Wheat. So, I don't really know what to expect. They do make a point of saying unfiltered. Spring 2010.
Yeah,
6% ABV, so might have a little bit of a kick to it. So I guess we can just dive right into these.
Let's do it.
Alright, we're back. And that is like a bright yellow color. Very hazy though.
nice color.
Extremely
attractive.
hazy. Not much head on it though. It's bright white, frothy.
Mild carbonation.
Mild. Yeah. Get the mild.
You can't even really see.
Kind of looks like pond water. You know, it's good.
But with yellow. You get a little bit of a weedy kind of scent to it.
Sort of.
Kind
Kind of smells like pond water too.
reminds me of the Magic Hat, or the Sam Adams Coastal Wheat.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's hope it's better
But
than that.
less
Oh,
lemon.
that was your favorite. Oh, no, that wasn't your favorite.
Oh, there is a little bit of a citrus note.
Yeah, it's more like yeasty, almost powdery in the nose.
I get the powdery. Yeah. That might sound strange coming from a liquid, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a little lemony, limey in the nose too.
Weedy.
Alright, let's dive in.
Okay.
Cheers.
It's a little bit soapy tasting.
Yeah. And it's,
Yeah. I used to swear when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Soap,
Okay.
I know soap.
Okay.
I'm not getting really any wheat beer quality to it. It's like if you took a pale ale and put like a bunch of dirt in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting wheat. There's definitely a wheat flavor to it, but it's sort of like if you're running through a wheat field and you're catching some wheat in your face, and then you fall in the dirt and get dirt in your mouth. It's kind of like that.
There's dirt, there's wheat.
And soap, then you have to wash it out of your face.
Yeah, it has like that soapy kind of aftertaste.
I can tell you guys really like
It's
it.
dry. It's not super dry. It's not very bitter, but it's not very flavorful either.
Or refreshing.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call this refreshing.
I don't think we're going to quench much.
Well, there's a hop bitterness to this that doesn't belong in a wheat beer, and maybe that's part of a failed project.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about, you said something about a combination wheat beer pale ale.
So, yeah.
And I guess if that's what they're going for, then yay.
Yeah, awesome.
But
Doesn't necessarily make a good beer.
no, although if in my head I fuse together the best things about a wheat beer and pale ale, it's not this.
No.
It's like maybe its dad was a wheat beer and its mom was a pale ale,
Right.
but the kid was adopted.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
It just didn't look right,
There's like a smidge of like lemon in there,
Yeah.
Yes.
but I don't know. It seems very dull, maybe muddy, as you might call it.
I would call it that.
No
Yeah.
flash. There's no pep. There's no citrus. If the citrus had that yummy zing to it, maybe.
Yeah.
But it just has a dirty dishwater kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
It's as if they brewed a quality beer but started with dirty dishwater instead of clean Rocky Mountain water.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, I'm not really liking this that much. And I've been finding that lately, like the Magic Hat, their Odd Notions are hit or miss. Sometimes they're outstanding, sometimes they're terrible. And I wouldn't call this terrible, but
It is odd.
yeah.
And before, I just want to preempt any fans here that want to say something and say, oh, it's unfiltered, it's supposed to be dirty. No, I've had a lot of unfiltered beer, and unfiltered is not an excuse for crap. And that's what this is.
Wine Stefaner is unfiltered.
And it's good.
Yeah,
See?
tasty.
Gotta
get that tasty. Gotta get there big.
This beer, it's not really appealing to me but at the same time, it's not repulsing me.
No, it's not repulsive on par with the coastal wheat from Sam Adams. That was just like having steel wool rubbed on the inside of your mouth and then sucking a lemon and getting punched in the back of the head.
I get that. I get that visual. I get that.
Yeah.
Very descriptive.
Let's just boil down to our final thoughts.
I get excited.
Who wants to go first?
Me.
Alright. Yeah, Ernie, you've been quiet, so just your final thoughts overall. What do you
Final
think?
thoughts, I think this is all right. I think it's somewhat tasty. I am tempted to put some fruit doodads in there. I would say it's all right. It's almost refreshing. I would give it a 5. That's what
You know, I just want to give it a 0 straight up. I mean, no, I'll give it a 3. I feel bad giving it a 3 because there are worse beers that I've also given 3s to, but this is not a good beer. Magic Hat, what in the heck are you thinking? This is gross. I don't want to drink it. I'd rather go pour this on my lawn, but I'd be afraid it would kill my lawn.
Well, get the slugs, the pests,
Yeah,
by the garden to get the...
Putting a slug in this
Vermin
beer,
out, yeah.
putting a slug in this beer would make it better. Okay, really.
Yeah, see,
Stop.
I can't go that low because it's not really offending or repulsing me, but at the same time, it's really not doing anything for me because, like, I see like these little notes in here that like I'm like would really like. There's a tiny touch of banana and a tiny touch of lemon, but it's like if they could just boost that up more, you'd have a really drinkable beer here. And like, there's a bitterness which I guess is supposed to be from like the pale ale half of it or whatever, but it just comes off as a dry powderiness. I can tolerate this, which is kind of like the best compliment I can get is like, hey, I can tolerate it.
Then that's not a compliment.
I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence between a 4 and a 5, but I think I'm going to go 4.
So we're average 4.
Yeah, we're averaging 4.
5. It's like...
They should have just given it a 0.
Math.
But overall, it's kind of a thumbs down, whereas the last beer was like a kind of at least a thumbs up.
Sideways.
Yeah.
People do
Last
is that
beer
allowed?
was
Is
a
that acceptable?
sideways.
Can you do these?
This beer is a down. So far, Magic Hat is really just sort of lowballing us as a brewery.
Jeez.
And,
Alright, well,
yeah.
that wraps it up for this long-winded episode of Chad and Friends Beer Reviews. Thanks to Henry and Ernie for coming out.
And don't forget to have an amount of something that's not this beer.
Exactly.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.